Good day everyone. Welcome to Envision English. Today in this series of lectures we are going to have a look into that letter to God written by G.L. Fluence. We can in this series of lecture we are going to have a look into that Cbse lessons, especially in English. So here, to understand the letter to God, first we should know the author. Author is G.L. Fluence and the characters. So before we introduce the characters, we have to divide the character into two subdivisions. One is important character and another one is lesser important characters. The important characters are Lencho, a farmer, and a postmaster. And the lesser important characters are Lencho's wife, children, and post office employees. So this is what the major and minor characters of this lesson. And the another one important character which is not available in the text, but throughout the text we will be discussing about the character is God. But he is not present in the story, but from the beginning to end that name will be repeated. So before we getting into the story, you should be very clear about the one line about this lesson. The one line is nothing but man's unshakable belief on God and a relationship between men and men and God. A relationship between men versus God and men versus men. And also humanity is a vital message given importance here. Let us have a look into the story in brief. Before you getting into the story, you should imagine the setting, the location, the locality of the story. So this will help you to have a virtual tour to the Lencho's house. So now we all will be having a virtual tour towards the Lencho's residence. The house, this is how the story starts. This is how the text starts. The house, the only one in the entire valley. So in the entire valley, there is only one house. Just imagine that there is a mountain, this side one mountain, this side on another big mountain. There is one valley, but in the entire valley, there is only one house, only one hut, maybe a hut. And in front of the hut, there is a agricultural land. There, Lencho is farming. So no one is there except Lencho and Lencho's wife and Lencho's children. So in the opening line itself, Lencho is working in the land with his elder children, and the younger one are playing in the field, and his wife, Lencho's wife, is preparing the dinner for them, and she called them for a dinner. So from this line, we have to note one thing. She didn't call them for a breakfast. She didn't call them for a lunch, but she called them for a dinner, which means that until the time of dinner, they are working in the field. So it shows that how much they are hard workers. So Lencho feels satisfied with what he have because of the agriculture. Because the land have not been cheated him for the long time. It has given him something to eat and something to eat for him and also his family. So Lencho believed the land and agriculture and as well as the nature. So that he believed the God. So in the cycle he believed everything. He believed nature, he believed agriculture, he believed the God. So entirely he is an optimist. But he is a doubtful optimist. So here we may have a doubt that optimist means the person one who have a positive feeling. A doubtful person means one who is having a negative feeling, one who is feeling doubtful with everyone. So how can be a doubtful person be an optimist? So here we should be aware of that. He is optimist in his hard work. He is optimist in his belief of God. He is optimist in his character towards his day-to-day life. But he is a doubtful person in one regard. That regard I will tell you later. At the mid of the lesson, at the mid of this lecture, you will come to know he is doubtful. He is doubtful about what, and he wants to have a rain to have a good harvest. That's why he prayed the God that I want of rain, so that land will be wealthy, the land will be, or else the agriculture, or else that corn will be grow up nicely, so that he wants or he is in need of a rain. And also in the evening the rain came. He felt very happy and he enjoyed a lot in the rain. He enjoyed a lot, but the next day morning, there awaits one unexpected thing which is not going to surprise him, but it is going to shock him. Because the first day everything is going in a positive way, and the next day it is going to change, it is going to travel into the negative path. What happens now? In the morning, hailstones attacked. So the hailstones came, it devastated, it damaged, it destroyed the entire agricultural land. So that he mentioned one line in the page number 4, last line. After the devastating destruction, after the destruction of a rain, after the destruction of nature, he mentioned one line. In the page number 4, it's a last line. A plague of locust would have left more than this. So he feels that comparing with nature, what he believes a lot, comparing with rain, what he wants a lot, comparing with this nature and the rain, the plague of locust, which means the disastrous insect, are better, because if the insect came means it might have left something for them to eat. It might have left something for them for the upcoming year's harvest. But the rain, the nature has collapsed everything, so that the following night went in a sorrowful manner. But the next day his wife has given him a assurance, and she given him some words that healed his painful mind, that painful heart, and he is thought of writing a letter to the God. Because he don't know anything. He know his family, and he know his land, and he knows to calculate about the nature, to predict the nature, as he is like a prophet, and he know God, so that he plans to write a letter to the God. That's why he got one letter and write it like this in the page number 5. Keeping this amount of money what he required in his mind, that is 100 pesos. 100 pesos he is having a requirement. Keeping this required money in his mind, he started to write the letter like this. God, this is how he starts the letter. God, if you don't help me, my family, and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes, because the hailstorm and etc, because the hailstorm came and it devastated me, it destroyed me. And he started writing like this. So he detailedly explained what happened there. And here we have to note one thing, whether it is right or wrong, whether he is knowledgeable person or not, that and all not a matter. But he don't want the money to have a luxurious life, but he wants the money to have just to live, to have just to have agriculture for a next year, for the upcoming year. Still, he didn't ask the money to live the luxurious life. He is ready to work. He is ready. He is a hard worker. He is ready to work hardly, but he needs help. Here we have to understand one thing. There is a huge difference between asking a help with someone. Asking a help to have a improvement, to take the further step is permissible, it is advisable. And asking a help with someone to have a luxurious life is may not be permissible. So in this regard, Lencho's requirement of help is permissible. And finally, he wrote the letter and he dropped it in the town post office post box. At the moment, the post office employee, one postman, he came and took the letter and he started segregating the letter according to the address. But in his lifetime, but in his entire lifetime, in his entire service, for the first time, he don't know where to place this letter because of this address. The address is mentioned to God. So he feels shocked or else surprised or else bewildered, confused, whatever we want, whatever the words we know, we can use it here because we cannot explain his feelings after seeing this letter. He takes the letter to the postmaster. After seeing this letter, for our surprise, for the reader's surprise, he didn't get surprised, he didn't get shocked, because the postman, he is a fat, amiable person. In the page number 5, last line, the postmaster, when you want to describe the postman, he is a fat man and amiable, such a innocent. You can imagine that a fat man and amiable person means a friendly, a pleasant one. Whenever you see him, he will be having a smiley face. So in a government office, a fat man with a smiley face. So you can just imagine that. So he didn't get shocked, but he decided not to break the belief of a common human being like him, so that he decided to collect the money from his fellow workers, and also he decided to collect the money from the fellow workers, and also he decided to pay his own part. So finally they collected the money and it didn't reach the 100 pesos, but they can able to only contribute 70 pesos, 70 pesos only. And they collected it, they dropped it in a letter, and they posted the letter again to Lencho. And Lencho came and he received the letter. But when Lencho received the letter, for our surprise, he didn't get shocked. He also didn't get surprised because he believes in God. He knows that definitely God will reply him, definitely God will help him. And he opened the letter and he opened the envelope and he counted the money, but there he find only 70 pesos. It shocked him. It shocked him a lot because he believes that whatever he asks, definitely the God will give, because he didn't ask anything regularly in a day basis and all. So this is the first time according to the story, in the first time he is asking, so that that too for a valuable reason, so that he believes that God will definitely give him. Whether it is rational or not and all, we have to think later. But here in this mindset of Lencho, he asked, this is the first time, and he asked it with a valid reason, so he expected God will definitely give 100 pesos. But finally there is only 70 pesos, so that he got one letter again, and in this letter he wrote the content matter for a surprise, and also he is tensed, his attention, so that he got the letter and he wrote something and he licked it to paste that envelope, and he, with the help of his fist, and he tightened that letter so that no one can may be able to open. And then after assuring that paste, and after assuring that the two orders and everything, he posted the letter into the box again. Now the postmaster want to see the content, and he is eagerly waiting for that, because he believes that he has done a nice job, so that there will be the appreciation or else there will be the thanks to the God, so that we can consider that it is a thank directly given to postmaster and his office employees. But for all our surprise, he opened the letter and he started reading it. In this letter, page number 7, it is a content of the second letter. In this letter, it's clearly mentioned that, page number 7, it said, God, of the money that I asked are only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest, since I need it very much, but don't send it to me through the mail, because so what I have asked 100 pesos. How much you have given? 70 pesos. And you have to send me the rest of the money, which means 30 pesos. These are all normal things we have expected. The last line is very important. But don't send it to me through the mail, because the post office employees, including the post office employees, are bunch of crooks. Dot. Lencho. This is how he completed the letter. So the bunch of crooks. It includes the postmaster, the post office employees who have contributed a part of their salary. All of them were called bunch of crooks. Bunch of crook means a group of dishonest people. A group of, not only a single, a group of dishonest people. So that, hope you might have understand this story. So now, within 1 minute, I would like to recap what we have discussed. Lencho is a farmer and he has a wife and also children, and he is living in a all alone solitary valley, and he is an ardent believer of God. His occupation is farming. He waits for a good harvest, so that he prays with the God for a rain. But the rain came, he enjoyed a lot. The next day it destroyed his entire crops, so that he requested a help from God. After knowing this, the postmaster write a letter with the 70 pesos of his collection money with his fellow post office employees and all. He sent it to him. But Lencho, he believes in God, not only in God, not with the other people. He suspect them, the post office people, as a bunch of crooks. So in the beginning I told, he is an optimist, but he is a doubtful optimist. He is optimist in his behavior, he is optimist in his occupation, he is optimist in his belief of God, but he is doubtful towards the humanity. He is doubtful towards the human beings. Let us have a look into the theme of the story. The theme, if you want to understand the theme, just have an imagination of triangle in your mind. So in the triangle, in the bottom line, there will be Lencho and postmaster, and on the top there will be God. So here the contradictions also you can understand. This is a conversation between Lencho and God, and in this conversation, unknowingly, because without the knowledge of Lencho, the postmaster is communicating with Lencho. In the place of God, he expects the reply from the God, but in the place of God, who is helping, who is replying? It is none other than a postmaster. So for the readers, the one who is doing the duty of God is a postmaster. So if you understand this triangle, means then you can understand. And the conflict in the story. The conflict you can easily understand, which means that he requests the help from the God. He is somewhere. He is not in the earth. He is not here, but he is somewhere. Whether he is here or not, he is somewhere. He didn't help him, but he believes him. He didn't help him, but he believes him. But he believes him the most. But he believes him to the fullest. But the man one who helped him didn't receive the right recognition. This is called conflict. This is called contradictions. So the theme can be conflict between human beings or contradictions. Man versus nature. Man versus nature. And the ardent belief of God. Humanity. So these and all can be taken as a theme for your consideration. Some important glossary might help you when you are writing the essay in your board exam. You can use the vocabularies which are given in the NCERT textbook. So in this regard, you can have a look into the word called crest, which means a peak, or dotted. Dotted means spotted. And here shower represents the mild rain. And draped means covered with, wrapped with. And also solitary, which means a lonely. And hailstone means a frozen mass of ice. And one important thing, when you are defining the character of Lencho, you can use this word, an axe of a man. An axe of a man, which means a hard working man. And when you are describing the character of postmaster, amiable, you can use amiable, which means friendly or pleasant one. So these words you can use when you are constructing your essay for board exam. And also the theme and the name of the lesson and the name of the writers and characters. And keeping it in your mind, when you focus your board exam, you can definitely win. Thank you all. Thank you for watching.